What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. With the new film Honey Boy in theaters now, since it is pretty much like a autobiography of Shia LaBeouf, like it's like about Shia LaBeouf's career. And it's not a biopic about him, but it's mainly based on his career, really. Now, but in this video, I decided to do my top 10 favorite Shia LaBeouf movies because he's been in the entertainment business for a while. I mean, he's been he's been part of Disney. He's went on to have a really solid career. I mean, yeah, Shia LaBeouf is a bit of a whack job, yeah, but I still think he's a tremendous actor. And every time he's in a film, he always really shines and gives a really solid performance. So, with that being said, here is my top 10 favorite Shia LaBeouf movies. Alright, coming in at number 10, it's probably one of the most weirdest movies you'll ever want to see. And that's literally a film called Nymphomaniac. The film is pretty much about what the title suggests. It's about a nymphomaniac who, if you guys don't know what a nymphomaniac is, it's someone who's addicted to sex. Yeah. And so it pretty much takes place revolve around different stories about this woman named Jo. It talks about her younger of course, talks about her younger years and her and her older years, and the younger version of Jo, is of course played by Stacey Martin, who ends up having a sexual encounter with Shia LaBeouf's character, who ends up taking her virginity and all. Charlotte Gainsbourg plays the older version of Jo. This movie it's a pretty good film. I mean, it's weird, but obviously it's directed by Lars von Trier, who is one of the most weirdest filmmakers there is. I mean, his films are decent, but very weird. And Shia LaBeouf, this movie has loads, and I mean loads of sex scenes in it. I mean, it's a very risky movie. I suggest maybe not watching this with people because it's kind of an awkward film to watch around people. And it has a really interesting cast. Besides Shia LaBeouf, you also have the aforementioned Gainsbourg. You had William Dafoe, Jamie Bell. You had Uma Thurman, and Shia LaBeouf. Either he gave a tremendous performance in this role, and his chemistry with Stacey Marr was good. Although he actually ended up dating one of the other co-stars in this, Mia Goth, in real life, so that's pretty cool there. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen Nymphomaniac, I'll say give it a go. It's a weird movie, but it's pretty decent. Alright, coming in at number 9, it's a film called Charlie Countryman. It's where Shia LaBeouf, plays this guy named Charlie, whose late mother ends up appearing in a vision and tells him to go on a Bucharest, and so he ends up boarding a plane to Atlantic, and but when he ends up meeting this fellow passenger, Charlie ends up finding himself with another promise to fulfill, and he decides to head over here is in love with this woman named Gabby, played by Evan Rachel Wood, who's this beautiful musician, but she's also in a relationship with this gangster, played wonderfully by Mads Mikkelsen, and so it's a very interesting film about forbidden love. And I mean, it's a really good film. Shia LaBeouf, Evan Rachel Wood was great. Mads Mikkelsen was terrific. A great Frederick Bond directed this. Really good film. It's very dramatic. A great crime film. A great romance flick. And Shia LaBeouf and Evan Rachel Wood, those two, I think they should do another movie together. I thought those two really had great chemistry for one another in this. I mean, yeah, if you guys never seen Charlie Countryman, give it a go. Even people who didn't like the movie will admit that Shia LaBeouf was great in this. Alright. Now, coming in at number 8, it is the Even Stevens movie. Now, before he became a popular star, Shia LaBeouf had his career with Disney, and that was the TV show Even Stevens, and that ended up getting turned into a feature film. The Even Stevens movie is really good. I haven't seen that movie for a while, but it's directed by Sean McNamara. It was a Disney Channel original movie when it got released. It didn't get released in theaters like Lizzie McGuire or Hannah Montana did. And it's where like the Steven family ends up being delighted when the stranger offers them a all expenses pay holiday at their, of course, their trip to an exotic island ends up starting off like a dream come true, but things end up going wrong when they're like a beautiful beach house ends up collapsing. And so, like, they end up discovering that the stranger who ended up giving them the holiday is actually the host of this reality TV show, and it's a really good one. You had people, the ones who played Shia LaBeouf's parents, Chrissy Romano was great in this, really funny. I don't think Even Stevens really holds up today as it did back then. I'll be down to see a revival in the future. Like, it'll be cool seeing Shia LaBeouf play that role again. But yeah, Even Stevens is a really, the show is really good and the movie's good. If you guys never seen them both, go check out Even Stevens. They're some really good stuff. Anyway. Alright, coming in at number 7, it's actually a recent one, and this is a really great one. It is the Peanut Butter Falcon. Now, it's where this kid with Down syndrome ends up running away from his residential nursing home to pursue his dream of becoming a pro wrestler. And along the way, he befriends with this outlaw played by Shia LaBeouf, who ends up becoming his coach and ally throughout the whole film. You also had Dakota Johnson was in this. It's a great movie. As we speak, this movie literally still holds up 100% Rotten Tomatoes. It has great performances by Shia LaBeouf. The one who plays like the kid in this was great. Yeah, it's a great adventure movie. It's like an updated version of Huckleberry Finn, if you want to look at it that way. Really terrific film. If you guys never seen the Peanut Butter Falcon yet, it's still in theaters. It's a really great film. Alright, coming in at number 6, might be a bit unpopular, but I quite got a kick out of this. Number 6 is going to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, I still consider that this is actually not a great Indiana Jones movie, but it's really more of like a great adventure film. And Shia LaBeouf, his like on-screen chemistry with Harrison Ford was great. You also had Kate Blanchett. Steven Spielberg ended up directing this. Of course, he directed the other indie movies, so yeah. But yeah. But yeah, Kingdom of Crystal Skull is not as bad as people make it out to be. Like, lots of people really hate this movie. But I think I don't think it's all that bad. I'm still hoping we get another Indiana Jones movie, but that's still, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But I quite got a kick out of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and Shia LaBeouf, he was really great in his part. Playing like he's not really technically the son to Jones, but he's more like Harrison Ford mainly played like a father figure to him, and yeah, it's a really good film. Like, I really quite like this movie more than most people did. Alright. Coming in at number 5, it is the movie Lawless, directed by John Hillcoat, and it takes place in 1931 in Franklin County, Virginia. And it's about these brothers named the Bondurant brothers, who also run a multi-purpose backwoods establishment that also hides their true business. You got Shia LaBeouf who plays one of the brothers. You got Tom Hardy. Of course, Shia LaBeouf plays the younger brother. You got Tom Hardy as the middle brother, and Jason Clarke as the older. And they had to pretty much be coming on the lookout, and the local police also have taken bribes and also left the brothers alone. But there's like a violent war um, statistic lawman played by Guy Pearce from Chicago ends up arriving and trying to and, and ends up trying to shut the Bondurant operation on. You have some really great people in this. Like you got Jessica Chastain. You had Mia Wasikowska, who plays LaBeouf's love interest. This is a really terrific movie. I guess you could say it is part like a western. A great performance is by Clark. By Hardy. Really great film. If you guys haven't really seen Lawless yet, give it a go. You definitely be disappointed. Alright. Coming in at number 4, it is Disturbia. Now, Disturbia is directed by DJ Caruso, and the movie Disturbia is great. It's really great, it's really a suspense thriller about this young man played by LaBeouf, who ends up being suspicious by this statistic, the psychopathic neighbor next door, played by David Morris. And I guess to say Disturbia is kind of like Disturbia is sort of like a I guess you could say like an updated version of Rear Window. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Disturbia is a really interesting mystery thriller. Shia LaBeouf was great. You also had this actress named Sarah Romer was terrific. I mean, this is like I said, this is up in the reign of the Alfred Hitchcock film Rear Window, and you could tell that this is literally like Rear Window a whole lot. And he pretty much, and Shia LaBeouf spends the whole entire film with binoculars and trying to, and David Morris, I mean, that guy could play creepy well. Not to mention, you also had Carrie Ann Moss was in this, Viola Davis. Really good, really good film. If you guys ever seen Disturbia, go check that one out. Alright, coming in at number 3, it is Transformers. Now, I'm unpopular opinion, I quite like the Transformers films. Yeah, sue me, the Transformers, honestly the first 3, because they both had LaBeouf in it. Then the last 2 had Mark Wahlberg in it. But I gotta say, I quite got kicked out of the Transformers film. Well, actually, before last night, obviously. Anywho, yeah, Transformers, they're pretty fun. You got Shia LaBeouf as Sam Witwer, who of course is like the owner of Bumblebee. You got Megan Fox in this. I quite like Megan Fox in this. Sue me. I mean, obviously, her acting's not great, but it's always nice to like look at Megan Fox once in a while. And her, like the romantic chemistry between LaBeouf and Fox were pretty decent. I really quite like their chemistry with one another. And of course, the action scenes were great. Optimus Prime was amazing. Obviously, the sequels I get kick out, but I'm really gonna go with the first Transformers because that really kicked off an interesting franchise. I mean, obviously, lots of people don't like the sequels, but hey. Now I actually don't like Last Night. That's actually the one I did not like. But some of the other ones I get kicked out. Anyway. Alright, coming in at number 2, it is the movie Holes, which is based on a book. Holes is fantastic. This was actually the movie that made me become a fan of Shia LaBeouf, actually. Like, I've seen even Steven a little later on, but it was Holes that really introduced me to Shia LaBeouf. And I think this movie kind of introduced most people to Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf, plays like this young guy named Stanley Ipix, who ends up getting arrested and he ends up going to prison where he has to dig holes. Obviously the it's holes.
I hope I don't see you tomorrow.
And anyway, of course, you got people like Sigourney Weaver, John Voight, Tim Blake Nelson, Patricia Arquette was in this. It has a really cool character too. Like you got Zero. You you also got people like X-Ray, Magnet, Zigzag. This has some weird. The characters in this has some of the weirdest names ever. But some of them are really sincere. Like Hilo Thomas, who played Zero, he was great as that role. And not to mention, you also had Henry Winkler was also in this. Andrew Davis, who gave us The Fugitive, directed this. Holes is such a great movie. I mean, it's an interesting. It's part adventure. If you look at it, there are like interesting flashback to the olden times here. I mean, I actually did read the book one time, and yes, people, I have read books in the past. So, but anyway. Holes is such a great movie. Like, if you guys never really seen
Joe, we're going. Joe, come on.
Like, if you guys never seen the Shia LaBeouf movie, Holes, give Holes a go. It's terrific. I mean, I actually remember watching this one time when I was in school, and it's a movie I think that still holds up today. And yeah, Holes is a really great one. All right, now my favorite Shia LaBeouf movie goes to American Honey. Now, American Honey, directed by Andrea Arnold, starring Sasha Lane in her acting debut. You had Riley Keough was in this. American Honey is fantastic. A little bit long, I admit. That was actually one of my major disappointments about this, because how long it was. But that being said, American Honey is magnificent. Shia LaBeouf, I mean, I think it's definitely the best performance he's ever given here. You got Sasha Lane, who plays like this trouble woman, this trouble young girl who ends up who ends up running away from a trouble home with a traveling sales crew, and they're led by and they can like go to door selling selling like subscriptions and stuff like that. And Shia LaBeouf plays plays the lead here, who also ends up having a romance with Star. Andre Arna, who also gave us Fish Tank, directed this. The movie also has some of the best cinematography I've seen. It's from H24. That's always a given. This movie made me become a fan of Sasha Lane. I mean, that girl's an awesome actress. I mean, and what she was able to do in this was her first feature film, and she crushed it. I mean, yeah, some really great performances. I mean, Shia LaBeouf, his performance here, like his on-screen chemistry with Sasha Lane was amazing. I mean, if you guys never really seen American Honey yet, it's actually a very underrated film too. But if you guys never seen American Honey, give American Honey a go. It's terrific. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Alright, let me do the quick rundown. 10, Nymphomaniac. 9, Charlie County Man. 8, The Even Stevens Movie. 7, The Peanut Butter Falcon. 6, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. 5, Lawless. 4, Disturbia. 3, Transformers. 2, Holes. And 1, American Honey. Now, Shia LaBeouf's been in loads of other stuff over the years. Let me this. Alright, he was great at Fury. That movie was pretty good. But if I was to do best Shia LaBeouf performances, Fury will actually be on that list. Because him, Brad Pitt, I mean, great film. Alright. Let's see. Man Down, he was great in. The movie wasn't all that great, but Man Down was terrific. Like, his performance in Man Down was great. Borg versus McEnroe. You also had Wall Street Money Never Sleeps, which I actually did not like. Got Surfs Up was good. Guide to Recognizing Your Saints. The Company You Keep with Robert Redford. I, Robot, the greatest game ever played. The Battle of Shaker Heights. Constantine. Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. His worst is definitely Dumb and Dumber. When Harry Met Lord. Oh God, that movie was. New York, I Love You. He was in. Bobby. He has some other stuff that I'm actually looking forward to, like the tax collector sounds really cool. He's supposed to be in a new movie with Robert De Niro, with Mel Gibson, and of course I cannot wait for Honey Boy. So Shia LaBeouf, his career is really skyrocketed lately. But let me leave to you guys. What are some of your favorite Shia LaBeouf movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is C-Movie signing off.